Hello, Dumaguete.
Hello, Negros Oriental.
Hello, Sillimanians around the world.
This is Joshua Soldivillo.
And this is Ronelyn Faith Vailoces, no?
And you're watching
Silliman. Good evening, everyone. This is a magazine program that talks about different aspects of Silliman University.
A program initiated to discuss matters concerning the campus by the sea. And you're watching
Silliman.
Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year, Ron. Happy New Year. It's already
Happy New Year,
2023.
Josh.
Imagine that. And we celebrate now, according to the Chinese tradition, the Year of the Rabbit. And based on my research, Ron,
You're really prepared for this,
according
huh?
to the Rabbit Chinese horoscope, things will finally start to fall into place after a 2-year period of struggles and hardships. Ayan, Ron, what a wonderful way to usher our new year. And of course, this means busy time for Silliman University, particularly our guests tonight who will be spearheading the enrollment and preparations as we kick off another semester. So allow me to introduce to you guys, it's our honor to have him tonight, the director of the Silliman Online University Learning. We have Dr. Dave Marcial. Good evening, Dr. Dave, and welcome to the program.
Happy New Year, Josh, and Happy New Year to our televiewers. And it's nice to start the new year here at #Silliman.
Yes, Dr. Dave Ron is our soul master.
Yes. And Soul Keeper.
Soul keeper.
No. And we also have here with us, of course, tonight, our University Registrar and Admissions Officer. Please help me welcome Dr. Giovanni, because that's Italian, but I don't know how to really pronounce it. But let us call him Dr. Jake Macahig. Good evening, Sir Jake.
Good evening, Ron. Good evening, Josh. Good evening to everyone, and Happy New Year. And thank you for having us here.
Oh, yes, welcome back, Dr. Jake, our usual
Suki.
Suki.
Suki ng
Suki ng
#Silliman.
#Silliman, of course. And Ron, speaking of happy, we would like to congratulate here Dr. Dave Marcial for being awarded the E-Learning for Community Outreach Award by the E-Learning Forum Asia. Congratulations, Sir Dave.
Thank
Can
you
you
very
talk
much.
more about this award that you recently received?
It's actually an award awarded, of course, by the E-Learning Forum Asia. And I am so blessed that I am the only awardee coming from
Wow.
Silliman and, of course, from the country. So, mabuhay Pilipinas for the e-learning community.
Right. Congratulations, Sir Dave.
Yes, Josh, before we actually get down to business, let us first ask Dr. Jake and Dr. Dave, because this is a new year now. So, what is your New Year's resolution, and how do you plan to really stick to that resolution? Dr. Jake.
Okay. New Year's resolution, always a resolution every year. It's always an attempt to, for me, I'd like to focus more on my health. And eating the right food, hopefully, after maybe December's series of parties and get together. And also, hopefully, less stress.
Less stress.
stress.
Let's
So
claim it, Ron.
Hopefully, no?
managing stress and also eating the right kind of food.
I love it. How about Dr. Dave? What would you do for this year?
I'll also go with Dr. Jake. Take care more of the health. And looking forward for a few sleepless nights.
Oh.
Still a
Compared-
workaholic, Dr. Dave.
Compared
no?
to the last 2 to 3 years,
Yeah.
that especially my work
Right.
as the director at the Silliman Online University Learning, there is no way not to bring sometimes work at home. But again, this is basically all for the love of Silliman.
Such a
University.
huge responsibility, Dr. Dave. How about you, Ron? What are the things you look forward for 2023 or this 2023?
Of course, there are a lot of things that I look forward for, but I just want to have a happy and peaceful and what do you call this one? Progressive new year, no? And I'd like to also focus on my health, my mental health, of course, and the happiness of the people around me, no? Having quality time with my family and those, the ones I love, and also with my work. Of course, we should not, forget our bread and butter, Josh. How about you? What's your New Year's resolution?
To look back last year's resolution. But I think more importantly, I think common to all of us would be health.
True.
And of course, a peace of mind, I think very important. And just to manage our stress levels, to be, be able to function still despite the left and right twists and turns and whatnot, Ron.
Yes.
Right? And speaking of beginnings, we are about to begin our semester for the college this January 16. And in fact, today, as we are speaking, the junior high school, elementary school, and the early childhood have already started their 2023 academic journey. Dr. Macahig, what are the preparations that you are currently doing right now? Because we know that this is another transition, so to speak, because for the past 2 years, we had a full online distance learning. For the first semester, we had what we call this, a hybrid, or what was our term? A full face-to-face, full limited and full face-to-face mode. No? Hopefully, Dr. Dave can clarify later on that.
Yes.
Sir Jake.
Well, we had a few adjustments during the first semester, and we already had a meeting with the enrollment committee, and there were suggestions and guidelines that were being formulated. So hopefully for the second semester, which is not very much a very busy and volume driven enrollment, because this will just be a re-enrollment of those who had been enrolled in the first semester. But we still would like their experience of enrollment to be smooth. So we are implementing certain measures that would somehow make it more efficient and smooth for our students. And we are also hopeful that the adjustments that we made in the first semester would be a template for lessons that we learn for us to make improvements and continuously adjusting, because this is a transition period, I would say, coming from a pandemic that is we just started a full online experience, and now we are transitioning again back to face-to-face and on-site learning. So there is really some adjustments, but I think we are ready, and hopefully we will be able to deliver a smooth enrollment experience for our students.
Nice.
Dr. Jake, just to set the record straight, when is the enrollment schedule for the senior high school and for the college?
Well, for the college, we'll start our online registration enrollment January 9 to that week. And for senior high, I think it's 17, and they will be having their classes on the 25th. And for college, it will be January 16. So just a short period for enrollment. But this is, let me just remind first-year students that in your enrollment for the second semester, you will be the one to choose your subjects na. So in the first semester, it was our office who facilitated the encoding and choosing of the subjects based on their curriculum. Now they have to experience being independently doing the enrollment, and they will be the one to facilitate in their choosing and also assigning of their subjects.
Right.
So make sure that you check if you already have all the grades, so that it will just be easy for you to process your enrollment.
Okay.
Right, Ron? And I think, of course, no, we are still open to those who are interested to enroll, no, from other institutions, like to transfer and like to experience Silliman University. Still, you are very much welcome.
Yes.
So the big question now, the 1 million question now, Dr. Dave, is that what's going to happen as far as teaching modality is concerned for the second semester? Many are curious, are we going back to the usual pre-pandemic modality, which is face-to-face, we report to school MWF, TTH, or we will be doing still an online component? Please share to our televiewers.
Yes. Before I will answer that, I'll just give a context that our policy effective the second semester is anchored on different guidelines. One is this guideline, our policy is driven with a university trust on educational technology integration. Second is on the 21st century teaching and learning, which is, as they say, we are in the education 4.0 and preparing for 5.0. And of course, Silliman don't want to be lag behind with that kind of existing skills that we need to incorporate also in our modality.
Yeah.
Third is on existing laws and existing guidelines, such as on the concept of flexible learning. But actually, the latest CMO, the CHED Curricular Memorandum Order on on-site learning.
Okay.
So with all of this, we made sure that everything will be put in place. And as said by Dr. Jake also, we learned a lot of lessons from the 2 years full ODL and at the same time, especially during the first semester. So our policy is called, dun, 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 dun. It's called Technology Enhanced On-Site Learning.
All right. So that's, Ron, it's technology
Enhanced
enhanced
on-site
learning.
What is this technology enhanced on-site learning, Sir Dave?
It means that all courses, all subjects offered effective second semester will be delivered in campus,
All right.
face-to-face, in person, but supplemented with the use of our Marcial LMS to enhance and supplement our teaching and learning.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Doc Dave, you mentioned a while ago about the lessons that you learned during the pandemic. So I assume that there were a lot of challenges during the first semester and the previous school year. So how will you address those challenges and how will you fix that this second semester?
Yeah, thank you very much for highlighting that, because one in the implementing guidelines is on a contextualization on how we deliver synchronous delivery. Because in our technology enhanced on-site learning, there are still two teaching strategies and approaches that we still offer. These are, one is on blended learning, second is on hybrid learning.
Yeah.
As we transition to on-site learning, we also modified and re-landscape our definition on hybrid learning. As we all know that in the hybrid learning, that could be delivered either synchronous or asynchronous. In our implementing guidelines to address the question is, we had very specific conditions when a teacher can deliver live on video session, because this is actually the major concern.
Yes, yes.
The major concern where students scheduling, then at the last minute, some teachers will deliver it via Zoom or online, and then their schedule is no way for them to catch up because they are still on the other side of the campus.
Or if not, the other way around.
Yes, yes. So we have very specific guidelines into that. Say, for example, that if in case teacher needs really to deliver in a live or a video, students should still come inside the classroom.
Okay.
And there is a projector there, and the teacher can deliver it via the Zoom. So it means that we are trying our best that delivery is still on site, but there is a hybrid or technology component into it.
Well, Ron, seems this is the kind of education system that we all think of 10 years from now. Like, it's similar with talking about flying cars or drones. And here is it, Ron, finally getting started, no, transitioning to Education 5.0. And Dr. Jake, we're just going to pause for a short break. But when we come back, let us talk about also the challenges that your office actually encountered, especially in the enrollment, and what are the changes as well that you are going to put into place this second semester. And perhaps, Ron, we can ask Dr. Dave Marcial about perhaps their overall observation about the usage of our Marcial platform. All of that and more when #Silliman returns. Welcome back. You're still watching #Silliman. Thank you for staying with us. Still with us are the forerunners of our enrollment system. We have Dr. Dave Marcial, Sole Director, and University Registrar Dr. Jake Macahig. Dr. Jake, let's talk about the challenges as well that your office experienced and encountered. And so far, what are the, let's say, modifications that you are putting in place right now, especially in terms of, say, payment or if not, submission of documents? Please share to our televiewers, sir.
Well, the first challenge that we had during the first semester was that we didn't expect that there would be turnout of walk-in enrollments. So because we were used to the online. For about 2 years, so the mindset was that we expected the students to apply online, but there were now movements to do the enrollment process physically through the office. So this created a bit of a confusion on the part of the students, and also on our part, we were not really expecting that to happen, but it did happen. So we made adjustments. Okay. So and the submission of documents, they were expecting that they need to submit it during the enrollment, but the guideline or the policy that we had in place was that they could do all the enrollment application and process online. And they can just submit their scanned documents, and they can submit the hard copy within the semester. But well, I think that is part of the transition. Right. and the adjustments from a pandemic restricted movement to a more freer movement. Yeah. So those were the challenges, and I think we have learned about it, and so we had to make certain adjustments for the second semester.
So for the second semester, Dr. Jake, for our students who are watching right now, you would still do the enrollment either online or in person?
Well, we encourage everyone to do online because that's the more convenient way of enrolling. But it would be easier now for continuing students because all their
records,
all their applications will be, or enrollment process will be online.
Okay.
And they are already within the semester. They have already, I think almost all of them have already submitted their documents. For those who are transferring or from other schools, then they can do walk-in or they can do our online process. Yeah. But still, they can still submit the documents within the semester.
Right.
So these are just some adjustments, and we also augmented our staff for during the first semester. Yeah. And we will still be augmenting our staff to cater to the demand of enrollment.
Ron, how times have changed. You can enroll yourself through the click of a finger, right?
Yeah, that's right, Josh. Actually, you asked, before we took a break, you asked Dr. Dave Marcial about the usage of the MySol accounts. Now, as the sole director, Dr. Dave, can you share us an evaluation based on the usage of the students and the teachers or the faculty about the MySol accounts?
Yeah, theoretically, it's 100% utilized. Theoretically, because it's part of our policy that by the time they enroll at Silliman, automatic they have the MySol account. Whether they like it or not, they have to activate their MySol account. There is still something. There is still a space and a room for improvement when it comes to utilization from the perspective of the teachers, because especially this time that we go back to limited face-to-face, there are a number of teachers who really wanted to go back to the before pandemic, something like that. But there are also quite number to those who still utilizing and maximizing the use of our LMS platform. And I think I'm happy to share that the senior high school is really the most immersed department in the utilization of our official learning management system. We are actually doing some reinforcement activities, not just for our colleagues, not just for our teachers, but also for our students to initiate and develop some initiative to put emphasis and pressure to the class so that the LMS will be really utilized. After all, that is part of our policy for the second semester, which is on the blended component part.
So, Dr. Dave, seeing this kind of developments, no, right, from a face-to-face and then limited face-to-face, and here we are face-to-face with technology. How do you think this is going to affect learning? Because we are actually undergoing constant transitions. Do you think this is something that we should really closely monitor? Because most of the students would say that we are already confused, or if not, there is this anxiety, or if not, there is this stress. You know, all of these mixed emotions na, no? Because, you know, definitely these are the expectations that also we have during a transition. So what is your advice, Dr. Dave, especially to our colleagues in the university, and of course to our students, as we undergo these kinds of transitions?
Yeah, I think we know that there are universal data that could tell us that there is really learning gaps during the pandemic, no? And I must agree with you that the university should find a way not to police but to reinforce the missing gap that we need to do. What are the specific actions that we should do? The sole office is having our continuing upskilling program. This time, we re-landscape also our strategy. When we say re-landscape, we have to change again our modality of the training. Before, full online. Now, we go back to in-person,
Right.
and then high flex also. That's one, as far as capacitating our teachers. As far as the students, it is true that because the students are, especially our Generation Z, they are very technologically adept and savvy into that, but make sure that there is control also at their self-control when it comes to the use of technology.
Right.
Because I think even before the pandemic or during the pandemic, there is an increase of technology abuse and you know misusage of this technology, and there's a lot of data breach, say for example, and some other things. In short, whether pandemic or not, there is still it is still a responsibility of every netizen or every citizen to be responsible in the use of technology.
Yeah, because would you agree, Dr. Dave, that whether or not we like it, technology will really stick around?
That's really true. And in fact, as I was saying, we are moving towards Education 5.0.
Another transition.
Regardless of the field you are,
Yeah.
Education 5.0 is not just simply for IT, not for computer science, but all fields. We have to make sure that we can incorporate the skills that the economy 5.0 is looking for our graduates.
Okay.
Thank you very much for that, Dr. Dave. It's very essential, Josh, that we should control technology and let us not let technology control us. No. Now, I'd like to ask Dr. Jake Macahig, because we are still in the middle of the pandemic, whether we like it or not. What are the guidelines and protocols that you can share with us, especially the students and the incoming, if we have transferees for the second semester, what are the things that they should bear in mind?
That's a good question because we should not forget that we're still under the restrictions and we're still under the pandemic. Unless, of course, the WHO is declaring another level of restriction, which could be much more lighter. But for the university, I think we are still implementing our protocols.
Yeah.
So we have the triage, we have the QR codes for entry. And when we visit or go to the offices, we have certain limitations as to the number of students who will be in the particular room. So we still implement measures for social distancing, the alcohol, and all these preventions or measures that can prevent the spread of this COVID. So for our students, we are still reminding them to wear your mask, to also follow protocols, so that we'll still have a more easy movement and not worry about infection.
Right.
Thanks
So
for that,
safety
Doc.
first,
Safety
always,
first.
Ron. Dr. Dave, given how while there could be learning gaps that are universally acknowledged, there are also gains that we see given the integration of technology in our education system, and many are actually doing an inquiry about when will Silliman University open and offer an online university, given that I think in terms of platform we are capable, in terms of our faculty members, I would guess so. So Dr. Dave, can you hint us and share us about possibility of probably having an open university or an online university?
Yeah, I'll take your word hint. Just to give you a hint, I just sit as a panel to offer a degree for a possibility to offer a full online distance
Wow.
learning. Or
Wow.
it is actually called under Open University.
Open university.
So what does it mean? It means that the university is open into that. Open in the sense that it is part of our strategic plan that
Definitely, yeah.
university will go into an open university.
Ron, I think I will be the first enrollee of these programs.
Actually, I'm looking forward to that also, Josh, because, it's time for Silliman University to reach other people from the different places, from around the world, if
Yeah, in
it's
fact,
possible.
when we had Mr. Moses Atega here, the director for international students, I think the interest really is high in terms of enrolling fully online.
Yeah, just if I may add, during the pandemic, we actually maintained our enrollment, and we actually increased the enrollment
Wow.
from other places
Countries.
Countries.
because of that platform,
Yeah.
LMS Soul.
Yeah.
So it makes it more easier for them to to study.
And there are academic units already that highlighting and sharing interests, because that's basically another preparation. Preparation in the sense that we have to get permission, of course, from the commission, possibility to offer existing program that we have, but on different modality, because that is really possible. And that's what we are working right now. I'm supposed to mention that of the New Year's resolution, that but since you mentioned that, then I'm happy. So we will wait for that, and that's one of perhaps of a what to look for
Yeah.
the school year, hoping for a new phase of Silliman University, Silliman University Open University, something like that.
Okay.
It
Ron,
sounds nice.
exciting times ahead. But as
Yes.
much as we would love to talk more about this, definitely we'll be inviting you soon once that is institutionalized and being official. But Ron, we're running out of time. So to culminate our conversation this evening, because in the previous episodes, Ron, we asked about desserts.
Yes.
This time it's the season of fruits. All right.
Fruits?
Yes. So the question, sir, if 2022 was a fruit, what would it be and why? So maybe we can start with Dr. Jake.
Dragon fruit.
Dragon fruit. Why dragon fruit, Dr. Jake?
You mentioned magod about horoscope. So anyway, I think dragon fruit is more nutritious and
Yeah.
exotic, and I'm hoping and looking forward for this year to be more of a kuan.
Exotic?
Yeah,
Jake?
there's more. What can you say? There's more exploration of new
Exploration.
things.
Right, because a dragon fruit, Ron, at the first glance, it's kind of thorny, right?
Yeah.
But when you open it, there are actually a lot of nutritious components there, similar to 2022.
Actually, I haven't tasted that yet, so I cannot really imagine.
Ron, that should be
No,
part
so-
of your New Year's resolution. to
Actually,
eat a dragon
I
fruit.
think so, no?
Thank you, Dr. J. How about you, Dr. Dave?
I couldn't think of a fruit, but maybe grapes.
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 I love
Grapes
grapes.
because it's challenging. Challenging if you... I'd like to eat grapes with seeds. I find it interesting, there is challenge and challenging to really find a way not to eat the seeds and then, play around my tongue and then something like that. It's
Di ba yung tutubo, Doktor? Yung joke lang.
Challenging, but nutritious.
yeah,
And
challenging,
delicious.
but at the end of the day, at the end of that fruit, it's a very nice fruit and delicious.
I love that, Ron. So, Ron, it's your turn.
Yeah.
If 2022 was a fruit, what
Of
would-
course, it's manga.
Manga.
Yeah, because whether it's ripe or whether it's hindi pa hinog, mangoes are very delicious and nutritious. And 2022, I'd like to metaphorically associate it with mangoes because no matter how sour, and no matter how sweet it is, it still completes the meal whenever you eat mangoes, and it's really nutritious. So I'd like to see the experiences that we had for 2022. No matter how sour or sweet it is, it is still something that builds us of who we are today in the year 2023. So whether it's sour or sweet, it is still edible and it is still meaningful to me. How about you, Josh? If 2020
I just remember the word edible. It's like you attend a Zoom meeting. Am I edible? Anyway,
Okay, Josh.
just a short aside. Well, I think if it would be a fruit, it would be rambutan. Yes, because
Seasonal, Josh, ha? Pero
Yes.
kailan lang.
yeah, because rambutan because
Expensive?
rambutan, di ba, Ron? Rambutan is for you to really enjoy the fruit, you really have to work hard in opening it, right? And
Well, we have the knife, Josh. Work smart.
exactly. So you need technology to. A knife is a technology,
Yes.
or if not, rambutan is something that is very nutritious as well. But for me, the meat, no, it is something that will really bring a mark to your palate. That
No, I'd like to eat rambutan.
and I think 2022 is something like that. It was remarkable, but
True.
definitely it was challenging at the very start, but it ended well. And that's why we are here 2023 finally hoping that things will get better because after a rain there is a
Rainbow.
rainbow.
Another rain.
Another rain.
All right. Thank you very much for joining our episode tonight. In every beginning, there's always an end, but every end ushers a new beginning. Happy New Year, everyone, and to God be the glory. Hey there, Sillimanians! Dagang salamat for joining another episode of #Silliman. Don't forget to support our Facebook page by liking, sharing, and dropping your comments there. We also have a YouTube channel. It's called #Silliman. Don't forget to click the notification bell for you to be updated with our recent posts. See you there.
And catch us at Pale Products Channel 6 every Monday at 8 p.m. Replays will be shown every Tuesday before the noontime news and every Saturday after the noontime news. And don't forget the enrollment schedule, which will be posted on screen. There it is. No? And this has been Ronelyn Vailoces, no?
And Joshua Soldivillo greeting you. Happy New Year, everyone!
Happy New Year!
See you next week, only here on #Silliman. Bye, guys! Happy New Year!